You have this throng of employees, 20 plus employees, many of whom were very senior managers, many of whom worked in finance. I'm tempted to say most of them worked in finance or associated to finance. And they, they all have very significant stories to tell. And, they all have sort of the same story to tell with regard to how their career ended. Once they raise questions about wrongdoing and untoward activity, they're quickly fired and asked to sign a non-disclosure agreement that says they can't talk about it.
Why did people, for 2 months, instead of saying, well, maybe there's something there, they made the Speaker and I the story and did everything in their power to thwart what we were doing until that report came out, and then, well, that no longer could be the case because there it is in black and white with some, hard evidence to back it up.
I think most people would look at it and say it's odd that somebody would raise concerns and then all of a sudden there's no focus on the people who are being accused. Nothing, absolutely nothing. It was all about us as the whistleblowers, and of course this made it extremely difficult for the 20 employees because they're all looking at this and saying, what the heck's going on here? Thank God I didn't say anything, because look what's happening to them. And we'll still continue doing what we're doing. Alan is, it's not exaggerating to say at least a phone call a day from somebody who says, well, let me tell you what I have to say.
The people that have come forward to the Speaker and to myself are all employees that work for the legislature. So they don't change with government, they don't work, they're non-partisan, they work in places like the library, Hansard, finance, the dining room, wherever. They fall under the jurisdiction of the Speaker. They don't have a union, they don't have an independent harassment policy or officer that they can take information to. So these are the folks that have come forward and either said, look, I'm having a hard time at work currently, or I was terminated without cause and I've got this non-disclosure, you're the Speaker, I'm coming to you. Other folks that may wish to come forward and they're political staffers, i.e. staff, ministerial assistants or legislative assistants, they work for the party, they work for the caucuses.
And have you heard from some of them?
I have, but we will move heaven and earth, no matter who they work for, whether it's in the private sector, public sector, Crown Corporation, or at the legislature. The point I'm making, though, is political staffers do not fall under the jurisdiction of the Speaker. Now, we can recommend and advise and help in any way we can. We can make direct change when it comes to the legislative, employees, because they essentially are employed by the Speaker, de facto being the head of the legislature. Those political staffers, they are certainly more than welcome if they feel that they're not, getting their thoughts out there. If they've got concerns of wrongdoing, I'm certainly available, even as just a private British Columbian, to certainly give advice. But the difference is one falls under the jurisdiction of the Speaker, the other doesn't.
Okay. Can you say how many political staffers you've heard from with concerns?
I would say at least half a dozen.
Okay. And has that initial 20 estimate that you gave me 2 weeks ago expanded?
Yes.
To?
I don't want to give a specific figure right now. I will say that I am receiving calls on a daily basis since this report. And the reason I don't want to give specific numbers is, well, I don't want to be held to a specific number, because every single, like the Speaker has said, every single time an employee or a former employee contacts me, it takes a heck of a lot of investigating and a heck of a lot of due diligence to look at their individual claims and cases and see if there's anything there, and then to document it and then maybe take it forward or add it into the pile that we're already dealing with.